So today we are going to talk about Social Security, and I want to give you a January 2023 update on what is going on for Social Security and Social Security recipients. Now, here's what I can tell you. A lot of people have been asking, will there be anything for Social Security recipients in 2023 or anything new or extra? My answer has always been the same. Maybe, but there will be changes to Social Security in general. Now, what do I mean by that? Well, here's the issue. Democrats had their chance to increase benefits to Social Security. They had their chance to do some Social Security reform, increase taxes, maybe make cuts or whatever. They had their opportunity and they didn't take it. That's now turning into a problem. And the reason for that is actually because of a statement that Speaker Kevin McCarthy gave last week. He said, and I quote, "One thing I will tell you, as Republicans, we will always protect Medicare and Social Security. We will protect them from for the next generation going forward, but we are going to scrutinize every single dollar spent." Now, what does this mean? Well, let's go and dissect this for a second. He says, as Republicans, we will always protect Medicare and Social Security. We will protect them for the next generation going forward. So not this generation. Here's the problem with the statement that he just gave. And again, when I say just gave, it was last week. But this statement, this tells me that he is going to do what he can to make sure Social Security and Medicare are still around for the next generation. That means there are discussions, and he is most likely part of it, that there are discussions amongst Republicans that they are going to do something to cut the amount of spending. Now, how do you cut spending? Well, and I know this is what a lot of people don't want to hear, but Republicans aren't against Social Security in general. They are against expanding the Social Security program that is currently at risk of becoming insolvent in the next 11 years. Right? That's what they're against. So, how do we see Social Security not become insolvent? Well, we either increase revenue or we decrease spending. It's one of those two. Or we do both. Here's the issue there. Democrats are saying we can't do both. We can't decrease spending and increase revenue. Like, let's just increase revenue. But President Biden has already stated that if you make less than $400,000 per year, you will not pay a penny more in taxes. So that promise that he made before he was president has been causing a lot of hardship for lawmakers to try to get something done. They're struggling because they always have that one thing hanging over their head, that no, you cannot tax anybody that's making less than $400,000 per year. And I know people are going to say, well, he's already gone against that promise when we saw the Social Security income tax go from $147,000 up to $160,200. Yeah, he did break that promise. But again, according to the Biden administration, that isn't something that's on him. That's actually on the IRS because it has to be indexed with inflation. So we'll see. But here's what I can tell you. As a result of Republicans wanting to cut costs but increase revenue, as a result of all that, the measures that they are contemplating at this time, they are considering increasing the full retirement age. That's the big one. And I think that is the one that does end up happening. Again, and I've said this before, based off of what we have seen in negotiations, I would assume that somebody that is currently at 67 years old and is collecting Social Security benefits, you'd be grandfathered in, so you wouldn't have to worry that, okay, you went from 67 now to 70 and you lose all your benefits. No, I don't think that's going to happen based off of the negotiations that we've seen over the past few years. But in doing this, by increasing the full retirement age, it's going to reduce the amount of money that is spent each month for beneficiaries. But at the same time, some are arguing that increasing this age only makes a small savings, and the best way to increase funding is to increase the tax revenue. That, again, takes us back to the same problem. Well, if we do that, who do we tax? Well, according to the Biden administration, the best thing to do is to tax people that are making over $400,000 per year. Okay, well, we tax those people, great, we get some money, but some Democrats say, no, we cannot target a specific subset of people simply because they make too much money. That's just not right. So we'll see what happens with that. But again, as of right now, the discussions are being had. The only difference is, according to a lot of reports, that they are going to do absolutely nothing until they figure out what's going to go on with the debt limit. And again, here's the issue with the debt limit. And I talked about this, I think, a few days ago as well. Is right now what's going on is Congress is going to wait. They're going to wait as far as the debt limit because they want to see how much money are we going to bring in? How much money are we bringing in from this tax season? Once they have that answer, then they're going to know exactly when we may potentially breach the debt limit. And then they will go and negotiate. Remember what is up against the debt ceiling? Social Security. We also have Democrats that are fighting to get the child tax credit payments. Republicans are also trying to get the corporate tax breaks. So we may see a cut to Social Security along with corporate tax breaks and a debt ceiling increase, all up against Democrats. And again, I wish this was a lot simpler, but it's not. There's a lot of moving parts here. This is why I try to keep you updated, because if you're just coming in after a year of not hearing anything about Social Security and now you want to see an increase, the whole problem there is there's so much stuff tied to it. So we'll see. Now there is some good news though that a state is specifically discussing at this time. Now currently there are 11 states here in the United States that currently do tax Social Security benefits. Now according to state officials out in Missouri, they are considering eliminating taxes on Social Security benefits moving forward. Now, this might not seem like a big deal, but when you're taxed between 0 and 5.3%, this could actually add up. Now, Missouri's Social Security benefits are fully deductible for residents over 62 years of age with an AGI, this is adjusted gross income, of under $85,000 for an individual or $100,000 if you're married filing jointly. So this is part of the discussions as well. This is from a state level, not a federal level, but I wanted to give you a quick little update on what's going on there. So as of right now, that is what we know. I wish I could tell you more. I wish I had a lot more answers. I wish Congress would just come out and say, all right, we're waiting till this date. We're going to make a decision by this date. But again, like we saw with the previous speaker, Nancy Pelosi, she'd set deadlines and Congress would just blow right through them. They wouldn't even care. So I wish we had a timeline, but as of right now, maybe that's for the best because Congress doesn't care. So we will see what happens moving forward, but as I know more information, I promise I will fill you in on all the latest news and updates. Again, thank you guys for watching. Consider subscribing, and I'll see you guys on the next one.